With the public hearing, we have asked for a rate increase starting January 1st, 2015. We've asked for a 5% increase. The reason for the increase is due to the capital improvement reserve we'd like to establish, as well as to begin to pay back the general fund of the money that is owed. With the current rates that are today for the water fund, you currently pay $184.11. which will go up with a 5% increase to $193.32. And in the sewer fund, you currently pay $288.42 with a proposed 5% increase going to $302.84. A quarter, yes, I'm sorry. Those are for the quarter. That's correct. Thank you. We do have our controller with us this evening, Andrew Foreman. If Andrew, you'd like to add to this particular subject, you're more than welcome to.
Good evening, Town Board. Good evening, residents of Beekman. As the Supervisor Zulov has announced, we are going to be voting on a rate increase next month after the public hearing tonight. And the bottom line is the reason for the rate increase is essentially to start to develop a capital improvement fund for the equipment in the sewer and most prominently in the water district, as well as the fact that there's an outstanding balance that's been due to the town for a number of years, and what we're going to try to do is start recouping that balance from the Dover Ridge Sewer and Water District residents. Just real quickly, what I want to go over is the numbers behind the budget for the sewer district, and piece by piece it amounts to $82,761 for the sewer district. $55,000 of it is related to the operation and maintenance of the sewer district. $2,400 is going to be earmarked toward the engineering and planning. $3,500 is earmarked toward electricity for the district. $4,002 is earmarked for the actual mowing of the district throughout the season. And $565 is earmarked for the plowing. $115 is earmarked for the postage used to send out your quarterly bills. And there's a balance of $17,179, which is going to be used again to start a capital improvements fund, as well as begin to pay back the money that the district owes the town. And on the water district side, it's for the operation and maintenance is $19,000. As far as the engineering is concerned, it's significantly a lot more than the sewer side, because right now we are not in code with the county and the environmental problems that we're having in a lot of the equipment in the water district. And we've come to the determination that our engineers have been spending a significant amount of time trying to come up with a plan to fix this problem, hence the capital improvements project fund which we are trying to create. That balance is about $21,600 we're estimating for the engineering help next year. As far as electricity is concerned, we're earmarking $8,500, and the mowing, $1,104, for the plowing, $280, again $115 for the postage, and $2,468 for the excess fund, which will go going toward paying back the town, as well as creating a capital improvement project. And that's all I have tonight.
And as far as the budget goes that we have allotted for the Dover Ridge Water and Sewer, it has not increased. The budget will stay the same. The budget will stay the same.
The budget will stay the same even though the rates will go up?
Yes. As said previously, we are establishing a capital improvements project, fund, as well as the beginning to repay the town the debt owed. Okay, so you've all had a chance. I know there were some newcomers that just recently came in. Thank you, Andrew. The ability to sign the sign-in sheet in the back, as we will go in an orderly fashion for speaking at the podium. You do have a 3-minute time frame. So if we got the sheet coming up. So if you hadn't had an opportunity to sign the sheet, please feel free to sign if you'd like to speak this evening. Otherwise, we will begin. I do have one sheet, but there are plenty of sheets back there. Okay. And again, the public hearing here tonight is for us to hear your comments and concerns. You may have questions and whatnot for us. We may not be able to answer them this evening, but we will get back to you in a timely fashion if you have any questions that we can't answer. All right. Douglas Miller, please come forward. And I know I just said your name, but if you could please just reiterate your name and address, that would be great, please.
Doug Miller, 177 Stowe Drive. I am in the Water District and the Sewer District. I'd like to begin by asking a question of the board. Who actually legally owns that district?
The town, the Beekman.
Okay, so I'm pointing that out because when you say that the district owes the town, it's really not the district that owes the town, it's the town that owes the town. Correct?
The district. You have a special district?
But I don't own it. Nobody here does. The town owns it.
Just the water and sewer pieces, yes. But not the district.
Okay,
that district is yours.
What does that mean?
The town. Well, it's a fine line on that. Okay. We run it for you.
Oh.
We're the commissioners.
Yes.
Okay. But
that's a good one.
But the town owns it, and you're the commissioners. I have a question about the resolution. It calls for the public hearing, and it states that the board wants to adjust the water and sewer rates for the district to reflect actual operating costs, as well as to, and I'm quoting this, to impose penalties for late charges. I want to get back to that later, but the primary question that comes to me in relation to that is, are the water and sewer accounts for all the 66 residences in Dover Ridge up to date at this point?
Say that one more time, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll have to ask for 30 seconds back though.
No problem.
The primary question that arises for me is, are the water and the sewer accounts for all 66 residences there up to date? In other words, are some of the users in arrears in their payments?
Andrew?
No, nobody's in arrears per se, and it's back to 67
okay.
Plans that are occupied by residents.
Okay.
And anybody who doesn't pay their bill by the first week of November, that amount then gets re-levied, sent to the county, and they're charged that on their county
taxes. So technically, everyone is up to date.
Everyone's up to date.
Okay, great. Yeah. We spent some time talking recently to the people from the County Department of Environmental Health Services. You referred to the non-compliance issues. I'd like to be a little specific about that. And our understanding is that to be in compliance, among other things, the pump house needs an emergency generator to cover outages. Mm-hmm. We also understand that the Department of Health has been trying for 4 years to get the town of Beekman to come into compliance by installing a generator. You haven't done that yet?
Not as of yet, no.
We also understand that the Health Department sent a letter dated March 31st this year, 2014, to the town supervisor regarding the violations discovered during an inspection earlier that month. The storage tank apparently is leaking 2,000 gallons a day, a problem that was discovered a year earlier in March of 2013. That would mean that since the average total usage for the system is about 16,000 gallons a day, residents are being billed the cost of 8 gallons for every 7 they actually use. More, there's a hole in the pump house roof, booster pumps and rusted piping need attention, and there's no auto dialer to notify you or the power company when the power goes out. Those are all instances of non-compliance as far as we know after talking with the health department. At the time of our inquiry, the paperwork required to have been submitted to the health department by the town engineer, I believe you also addressed that, regarding a proper plan to address those violations had not been received. It was due in April, 7 months ago.
We're working in conjunction, the engineer, Dan Kohler, in conjunction with the Board of Health to resolve these issues. He has put together I don't know that you've received his work, his report, which is here in front of me, the different 3 phases that are needed for repair of the facility.
If those are available, certainly I would like a copy later, as well as your comments. At this point, I'd like to go on record as saying it would be unfair of the board to ask district users to pay more for their water while the system has been and continues to be in disrepair and obviously out of compliance with health department regulations. It may be reasonable to ask for a rate increase, but it is not reasonable to ask for a rate increase on a system that's been in non-compliance for at least 4 years and probably more. Finally, I'd like to come back to the resolution. It states that the town wants to the rate increase to impose, in part anyway, to impose penalties for late charges.
That was a mistake, and I apologize for that. Somehow you might got a hold of an old resolution.
Yeah.
That was not a part of it.
Is there a new resolution?
No, that was just not a part of it. You're not here to talk about late charges, late fees. It's just the rate increase. And I apologize for that somehow.
We're just here to talk about the rate increase.
That's correct.
I see. Okay. Don't you have to make an adjustment to the resolution?
We probably have. You know what? I had that one resolution here, and I know we changed it. Rachel, can you bring that up? I had it.
It's from the November 5th meeting?
Did we make the change? She just found it. Oh, scroll down. All right, scroll back up. It does say it. There are no late fees, no late charges. Somehow that didn't get changed. I thought it had.
Okay,
There are no late charges.
If you readdress, you may want to
Yes.
you may want to look at the actual wording. You're asking about late charges, imposing fees for late charges, but
You have my word. There are no additional.
okay, but what you
Late
actually
charges.
meant,
No additional.
what you actually meant was payments, not charges.
Okay. Yes. Payments.
Okay, I don't know what that does to the resolution. I mean, or to this hearing, if you have a faulty resolution.
Our hearing tonight is for the user fees, just the rate increase on that,
Okay,
not the additional penalty fees.
and your lawyer is who? The town attorney?
Mike Varble
Okay, thank you.
from Varble Klein and Associates.
One in the paper, it was just 8.
Okay, and the legal notice in the paper, we do have a copy of it here. It was just for the sewer and water rate increase. Okay.